Good morning, a very happy new year, and welcome to the first of our midweek reflections from Holy Saviour Church of 2022. Tomorrow is the feast of the Epiphany, and indeed it was marked in many churches up and down the land last Sunday. It's the moment when we celebrate these three mysterious men, these three travellers, about which we know very little, but it seems that they were three men who travelled from a far-off land in the east, and they were guided by a very peculiar star in the sky to the place in Bethlehem where Jesus was born. If I'm honest, I think that the Feast of the Epiphany gets a bit lost often. It gets rather mixed up and rolled into the much bigger feast of Christmas, of which it is part. And so, for example, we perhaps don't distinguish between Epiphany carols and Christmas carols. And yet the Epiphany is something which is tremendously important. You see, all through the Old Testament, the Jews were seen as God's chosen people, God's special people. They were a nation who were set apart, who had a special relationship with God. And the Epiphany is that exact moment when we understand that although Jesus was born as a Jew and born and preached and lived amongst the Jewish people, we understand that God is actually the God of everybody and is there for everybody. And I think its significance is absolutely as poignant and relevant now in the 21st century as it was 2 millennia ago. Now, as then, there can be a tremendous fear of the other, of the stranger, of the foreigner, of those who are different from us in our perception. And it was a very radical, perhaps even a shocking message for the people of Jesus' own time, not least the religious leaders of his day, who were appalled by what he was saying. And yet it's very clear, it's clear throughout the Gospels that Jesus did speak to Samaritans, to Canaanites. He spoke to foreigners. And what's more, he spoke to people who were considered to be really utterly beyond the pale, social outcasts in his own time, in his own culture. So let's mark this special, this happy feast, because it is a deeply and radically inclusive feast. And it is the moment when we understand that all of us who were once in one way or another outsiders, we are all now made welcome. And we understand that everyone who walks about on this planet truly can be part of the family of God. Our hymn today is that wonderful Epiphany carol, We Three Kings.